Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40k Universe. I am your host Gershwin and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue taking on viewer requests as we get into the assassins or the origin of the assassins in 40k. If you guys have any suggestions for topic ideas, please comment down below. Don't forget to put suggestion followed by whatever topic you guys want us to discuss. Remember, this channel is for all the lore enthusiasts out there who just want to learn more and more about the awesome universe of Warhammer 40k. So suggest comments down below. Let's get into 40 facts about the Officio Assassinorum. The Officio Assassinorum is a subdivision of the Administratum responsible for recruitment, training, and deployment of elite assassins. It is a highly secretive agency of Imperium of Man's government that employs different temples that train human assassins to further the goals and protect the security of the Imperium of Man. Though the temples of the Officio Assassinorum are shrouded in the utmost secrecy, all men of influence fear the shadow they cast, for their operatives are the Emperor's justice made real. When the Emperor spoke his famous declaration during the early years of the Great Crusade, a number of his most loyal servants met eager to help enact his dream of uniting mankind across all settled worlds of the galaxy. These men and women were highly skilled in the craft of stealth and highly accomplished in the art of death. They hunted down those who would bring ruin to the Emperor's plan of human betterment. In secrecy they acted, preferring not to receive praise from the Emperor for their actions, for they felt themselves unworthy of such attentions, and amidst the great sacrifice and destruction caused by the ongoing operations of the Great Crusade. They carried out their executions silently, moving unseen from world to world in the wake of the Emperor's conquest, ensuring that promises made to the Imperium by rulers newly brought into imperial compliance were never faulted upon, that newly installed planetary governors remained loyal, and that treaties and pacts were enforced. In time, these servants realized that they could not hide from even their own deaths, and that their skills must be passed on to a new generation if their great work was to continue. Thus, they finally revealed their existence to the Emperor. He sadly saw the necessity for their existence, and the terrible duty that they had taken upon themselves, and he had to approve. Great temples were constructed, and the most skillful and deadly youth were sought out to be trained. Thus was the Officio Assassinorum created in secret. The names Calidus, Venenum, Calexus, Vindicar, Eversor, and Vanus were forever immortalized. The strongest survived their rigorous training, and in turn passed on their skills to others. New skills were learned, and new temples of death were later founded. The art of blade and pistol, poison and garrote were honed in every aspect conceivable. During its early history, all 6 Assassinorum temples, clads as they were known, were located on Terra. Each clad was led by an official known as its Director Primus. During the time of the Great Crusade, a pact was made on Mount Vengeance by the 6 Directors Primus of the Assassin clads, headed by the Master of Assassins. All 7 individuals were masked, and their identities kept secret from one another, and thus they were unaware that their leader was none other than Malcador the Sigillite. The assassins of all 6 clads were tasked by the Grand Master and their founding Director Primus with carrying out the Imperium's goals. In those circumstances where unleashing the full military force of the Imperium would prove unwise or too costly. The Officio Assassinorum began its work, striking down the foes of the Emperor. Most notably, during the Horus Heresy, the agents of the Officio Assassinorum dispatched agents from 6 primary clads in order to eliminate the renegade War Master Horus, but all missions failed. To learn more about the assassination attempts on Horus, please check out our 40 facts on the Horus Heresy. The organization continued its work, and during the Age of Apostasy, the Official itself became afflicted by the general corruption of the Imperium, and certain high-ranking members of the Officio utilized the assassins for Gog Vandire's own end. During Vandire's purges, powerful individuals and even the Officio's Grand Master became victims of the assassins. The war within the Officio became known as the War of Vindication. Before Vandire's death, he managed to gather a strong following in the Officio Assassinorum. Through bribery and blackmail, foursome amongst Van Dyer's agents was Tiz Garrick, a Calidus assassin. Using shape-shifting powers of polymorphine, Garrick assassinated the true Grand Master of Assassins and took his place. The ever-cautious Grand Master was prepared for such a move, and in fact had switched himself with an identical double. Still ever much alive, the Grand Master mustered the assassins still loyal to him and assaulted the Assassin Temple on Terra. The vicious fighting eventually spilled into the Imperial Palace itself. The ancient arsenal of forbidden and Xenos weaponry was opened up. Gene-sympathetic nerve gases polluted the corridors of the Imperial Palace, while neutronic warheads destroyed whole wings of the ancient structure. In the end, the true Grand Master assassinated Garrick and then disappeared in a self-imposed exile. Whether he is still alive today is unknown. In the aftermath of the carnage, the Inquisition set up the Ordo Sicarius at the order of Inquisitor Jaeger. The Ordo Sicarius has since monitored and overseen the Officio, so that such another terrible war can never take place again. The Ordo Sicarius limited the power of the Officio. Assassinations could only be performed after receiving a 2/3 vote from the Senatorium Imperialis of the High Lords of Terra. All assassins were to give detailed accounts of their mission, subject to inquisitorial inspection, and lastly, all assassins, with the exception of those of the Eversor Temple, were to undergo regular psycho-indoctrination. The assassin temples were split up and distributed across the width and breadth of the galaxy. They no longer stood within Terra. This was to ensure that should any one of them fall to alien influence, demonocracy, or heresy, the others would remain untainted. The Officio had played some part in almost all notable assassinations throughout the Imperium's history. For instance, as the Horus Heresy unfolded, the Calidus Temple was charged with the Primarch Conrad Kurz's death. Though his legionnaires fight to catch the killer in their midst, the assassin Mishan enters the Night Haunter's throne room to find him unresisting. By allowing the Emperor to kill his own son, the creature that was once Conrad Kurz believes his rebellion vindicated forever, for in death he has proved that the Emperor is as callous as he has always maintained. The Ghost Amongst Devils incident, as it became known, was when the Calexis assassin Dranos was sent in to destroy the Chaos Sorcerer Xantica before he can conjure any more demonic legions from the warp. Being all but invincible to not only the ethereal sight of Xantica's demon armies, but also his rubric bodyguards, Dranos simply walks by the sorcerer Xantica and burns his brain to ashes with a blast of negative energy. The action known as the Mother Gullet was when a Calidus assassin sent to steal away the firstborn child of the dangerously self-centered planetary governor, Thygmus van Spra, disguised herself as an infant Matron Vigilis by widening her stomach with polymorphine and swallowing the princeling whole. She walked past the elite palace guards without so much as a whisper of resistance. She then carries the prize in her belly to her master before regurgitating it whole, scared but safe. Pixcall footage is sent to the governor, and he falls back into the imperial fold within the week. In the year 452 of the 41st millennium, the Calexis assassin is sent to claim the head of the manipulant farseer Lithandrus Esmanthil. The Eldar senses the threat and scries the skeins of faith accordingly, but increasingly alarmed to find that he is unable to locate the threat corresponding to his pursuer. After a long and terrified hunt, the assassin ambushes his prey in a lonely hall of the Hans Dome of Reflection. He is rendered physically inert and driven to exhaustion by the chase. The Eldar gives himself up to the sinister violence that follows. The abhuman Goliaths of Thugrok Secundus, a recruitment moon of the Astra Militarum, develops a blood cult that consumes the planet's ruling caste. In an unprecedented display of miscommunication, no fewer than 6 Eversor assassins are dispatched to slay the leaders of the indigenous population. By the time the single surviving Eversor is recovered, not one Thugrok Goliath is left alive. and when the news reaches the Astra Militarum, they are most displeased that such a rich resource has been wasted. To this day, the event is used as a cautionary fable to illustrate the dangers of dispatching several assassins at once. The Morisha incident occurred in the 563rd year of the 37th millennium, when Orsha Therox, the assassin of the Venenum Temple, is dispatched to assassinate the renegade governor, Yoel of Morisha. During transit, the starship is caught in a warp rift, holding the vessel in temporal stasis for some 698 standard years. Not knowing that this has occurred, the assassin proceeds to her target, only to find that the target has long been since dead, and replaced by an anti-imperial democratic committee consisting of over 1,000 members. Faced with such an extreme task, the assassin only succeeds in killing the committee after spending 3 solar days poisoning all the chairs in the council's auditorium prior to a meeting of the full committee. In what is known as the Stargazer's Demise Incident, the progressive astrologer, Lennis Scared, is marked for death before his heretical discoveries shake the imperial creed. The Vindicar assassin, Erasmus Menst, hangs upside down from a Promethean relay pipe for 6 solar days, awaiting his prey, only to realize that Scared is aware of his pursuit and has holed up inside the observatory. The assassin abandons his plan and instead climbs to the highest spire of Hive Mendicantus, knowing that it's only a matter of time before the astrologer uses his scope to look into the sky. And sure enough, as the planet's moon is bisected by the spire, a flash from the astrologer's observatory appears. The assassin is able to put a shot through the telescope's lens and into the eye socket of the stargazer behind it. In the 209th year of the 39th millennium, the petite but very fearsome Calidus assassin, Miltasius Garvelli, infiltrates Big Mech Oil Guzzler's workshop in a disguise as a Gretchen slave creature. Just as the Oil Guzzler launches his death-dread horde at the Space Marines protecting the Hive, Scarvelli recovers her phase sword from its hitting place in a nearby stack of scrap metal, and then she attacks. Though it takes her almost a full solar minute to do so, she hacks the Big Mech into fist-sized chunks before overloading his force field generator and bringing the stomping advance of the death-dread mobs to a grinding halt. When the planet of Orlensa Tritus severs its ties from the Imperium, hoping for better trade terms, the planetary governor tricks his adept Arbitis into quelling a prison break that turns out to be a carefully crafted ambush, placing the arbitrator under lock and key alongside those same criminals he has arrested. Word reaches the Imperium, and 2 regiments of the Imperial Guard are sent to intervene. The aristocrats at the heart of the rebellion muster their forces and attack, only to find that their chief military advisor, a vulgar but effective mercenary known as Lecard, was not who they thought he was. The Orlensa forces find their dispersal to be extremely ineffective, and they are surrounded and cut off within a solar week. When Lecard's airtight cell is opened, it is found to contain only a set of discarded clothes, and the Calidus assassin, crouching like a hyper-feline ready to pounce. The assassin cuts a swath through the planetary nobility before disappearing without a trace. The Vindicar Temple is given a kill order to take out the predatory Dark Eldar pilot known as the Sky Knife. Knowing that to enter Kamarat would be to court almost certain failure, the Vindicar assassin, Garmak, determines the site of a previous sighting of the Sky Knife Razor Wings jet fighter. He mounts his vigil in the eye sockets of a Colossus, living off moss and the raw flesh of the birds that use the statue as their nest, while never taking eyes from the sky. 6 standard years later, his vigil is rewarded when the Sky Knife appears from mid-air. Within a half second of its appearance, the assassin puts a turbo-penetrator round into the cockpit, killing the pilot instantly. In the 718th year of the 40th millennium, the Orc warlord Urgak the Unstoppable is on the verge of completing his Gargant and launching a Wog into the Vandika sector, when the Vindicar assassin sets a bullet into the reactor core of the giant edifice. The thing catches fire and then explodes spectacularly, killing not only the warlord himself, but also the vast majority of the mechs in his deployment. The Wa is halted before it even begins, turning the entire orc survivors into a bloody civil war bath. And those were 40 facts about the Officio Assassinorum. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel because we're going to come out with a part 2. We covered notable campaigns, but next we're going to talk about the different temples and the different types of assassins. So please subscribe to the channel to get that. Don't forget to comment down below and let me know what type of topics you guys want to hear about in another Warhammer 40k video from us. And of course, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you really like our channel and you like watching our videos every single day, help us out. Support us on Patreon. It's a simple $1 a day, or sorry, a simple $1 a month. And that's going to help us create videos for you every single day. So again, guys, help us out with that. And if you can't, it's cool. Just like, comment, and subscribe, and that helps us out a lot too. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.